nearshore in Mexico. I'm part of the growth team sales.
Oh, cool.
I'm not
Awesome.
a sales guy. I'm not even a tech guy. I'm part of the client and on client support, client experience manager, which is just um, trying to understand what are the customer needs and what the developers are needing. So this has been very helpful to me to trying to understand a very nice way to promote the path or paths, no, not just one, just but several, right? From people who are here and after senior developers, no.
Cool.
So I just wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you, and I'm gonna have to drop. Muito obrigado, and demais.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Carlos. That's awesome, man.
Very welcome. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Jim, too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, you had, so, thanks, man. Good to have you here. It's gonna be recorded this, right? So you can come
Yeah,
out and watch it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I wanted to point out that since you left on good terms, that's how you were able to have them build your business.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You didn't storm out in frustration.
Right, exactly. I left in very good terms. Yes, exactly. So you're totally right. So actually, that's one interesting thing. Every time I left a company, right, I left in amazing terms, right? You know, it's not a problem, guys. Look, leaving a company is not a problem. You know, if you can talk to your boss, you can talk to your managers, showing that there is a reason why you're doing this, right? And many times there's, look, when I left my own company to come back to work for Sun, right? Because then I became the NetBeans community manager, right, for Sun. And I told everyone, said, look, guys, there's no way I can say no to this, right? No way. There's nothing they could offer me for me to stay, right? Because it was a completely different thing. It was very connected with me. Actually, by the way, that was an interesting thing. When I came to work to Sun again, we spent 4 months negotiating, right? 4 months, because I did not want to be a Sun employee again. I had already tried. I did not want to do it again, right? I knew that if I was hired in Brazil, I would have to report to the same people that had very close in mind. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do this, right? No way. And I was running my own company, right? And so for me to leave, it had to be a lot of money, right? So all of these were problems, because my boss, my future boss, she didn't have the budget to hire me, right? But she wanted to hire me. And so we negotiated for 4 months. In the end, we had to do an agreement, right? You know, I was NetBeans community manager, and I also helped with Open Solaris, right? Because the VP from Sun Labs, right? He was pushing Open Solaris, right? So he said, okay, so he told my boss, I give you the money for you to hire this guy if he works for Open Solaris too, right? And so I had to agree with that. So we negotiated. So my boss had to increase the salary. I had to agree with working for Open Solaris, but also I had to agree to work for Sun, because she told me, said, Bruno, there's no way you can do what I want you to do if you're just a contractor. You're gonna have to work for Sun, and because you're in Brazil, you're gonna have to report for people in Brazil. We can't. There's no way we can do it. So I had to accept that. So 4 months negotiate, right? So then we finally got an agreement. I accepted goods, all that. Next day, my boss calls me, and she says, Bruno, can you come to Prague? Right, we have a team meeting in Prague. All the team's going to be here. It's going to be a good moment for me to introduce you to everyone. Can you come to Prague? I said, yeah, I can. Can you travel today? I said, no, right? Because it was Brazil. At that time we were 6 hours ahead of California, right? So that was early afternoon, right? And can you travel today? I said, no way, can't travel today, right? But I could travel tomorrow. And she said, okay, that's good. So travel tomorrow, here's the contact of the travel agents that you can talk to get a ticket for you. I was not even an employee, right? I had just accepted, right? So, the whole HR process didn't even happen yet, right? And so, we're gonna bring you here and all that. That's when I met the whole NetBeans team. It was awesome. That trip was really awesome. So on that same day, so I'm traveling to Prague to meet the team, right? The next day. On that same day, my boss called me again and said, Bruno, HR, listen to this, guys. Bruno, HR has just published your position on the website. Can you please go there and submit your resume? Right? And so, look, that was the position for NetBeans Community Manager. At that time, the largest and most important open source project from Sun. Right? How many people do you think wanted that position? Right? I mean, I have no idea, but I have friends of mine that called me and said, Bruno, look at this amazing position from Sun. Do you think I have a chance? Can I submit a resume? Right? I had friends of mine that called me and said, Bruno, do you see that position from Sun? Man, it looks perfect for you. Why don't you apply? Right? So that's what happens, guys, when all you do is submit resumes for those positions, right? Because you never get a response back. I have no idea how many people submit. I don't have any idea. My boss doesn't have either. Because I can guarantee you that she never, ever look at a single resume of those. Right? I can guarantee you that she has no idea how many people submit for that position. And look, let's be honest, right? There could be people that submit to that position that were much better than me, right? I was not a NetBeans developer. I was not part of the NetBeans project, right? So there could be people that were working with the NetBeans community a lot longer than I was, right? It could be. So that's the problem, guys, with the rejection path. You can think that you are amazing for that position. You can think that you are the perfect person for that position. You can think all of that. But, there's 10, 15 people going through the rejection process. And it would be okay if several of them were rejected and then they would choose one. But while there's 10, 20, 50, 100 people going through the rejection process, there's one, maybe two going through the acceptance process, right? And so basically, those 100 people, they're not competing with those two. They're just competing with themselves. If they say no, if they fumble in a conversation, if someone finds something bad about them, they might lose the position, right? I was invited by another company, and they flew me to the US. So I was, so Sun, one thing that Sun did was that lots of people from Sun went on to be important people in other companies, right? So a friend of mine was president in Brazil of a large company, a large US company. So he said, Bruno, we need you here, right? There's a position, I'm going to indicate you and they're going to hire you. So I'm in the acceptance process, right? I'm in the acceptance process. Awesome. So they flew me to the US. I spent 3 days interviewing here, talking with lots of directors, talked to lots of people. It was great because I met lots of good people. They're very useful later on. And a week later, not even a week, like 2 days later, I got a message. You're not accepted. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Right? I was like, okay, not accepted. That's good. So my friend was like, no, that's impossible. What happened? Right? So he went on to find out what happened? Why they rejected me? And the explanation that he gave me, right, the official explanation that he heard, is that I went to the interview process with jeans and t-shirts. Look, is there a reason? That's an excuse, right? It's not a reason, it's an excuse, right? Of course, right? Because everyone I talked to was with jeans and t-shirt, right? So I mean, right? So it's like, of course an excuse, right? So that's not the reason. Then later on, I found out that the person that was hired came from the same company and had worked with the guy that was hiring. So although for all the purpose, it looked like I was in the acceptance process, I was just being referred by an important person in the company. I was not being referred or being hired by the guy that was hiring, right? The guy that was hiring someone he trusted. And I'm totally fine with that. That's great. It's awesome. For me, it was great. I got to meet lots of people. It was really helpful in other parts of my career later on, right? And so I just understand that that's how it works. And if that's how it works, we just need to learn to play the process. The problem that I see is that a lot of people go through this process, especially for those positions, right? Remember that this one here, people are desperate trying to hire. This one here, there's not a lot of people trying to hire because they don't even have that position in the company, right? So for those positions, it's even more. So the problem that I see is that when you have those kind of things, you're going through those processes, but you don't know. And then you feel bad. I don't feel bad. I totally don't feel bad when that something like this happens. I just know that that's it. That's okay. I expect it to happen. But when we go to those processes and we think, oh, we have a chance. Oh, my resume was great. I did a great interview, right? And then we got no. It's like, how come we got no? What did I do no, right? I have another friend that he went to, and I know, Scott, you want to say something, but actually, I want you to come to here talk about mentorship in a minute. But I have a friend that he went to one of these interviews with lots of questions in live coding and whiteboard coding, all these kind of things, right? Things that we hate to do, right? And so he went on and he said, look, and he says this in his talk, by the way, right? He went on and he says, look, you guys are hiring an evangelist, right? But I have my own company. For the last 10, 15 years, I run my own company. So if you ask me those questions about coding interviews, kind of thing, I don't code every day. I run a company, right? So I'm not going to be able to answer that. So they asked him, okay, so what is the one project you've been doing lately? And he said, oh, I've been doing a lot of projects with IoT protocols. So they did an interview where they only asked him about IoT protocols. Right? Why? Why would anyone do that? Because they want him, right? So I'm just going to ask you things that show that you're great, right? Because that's what we want. We want you. We trust you. We know who you are. We've been to your talks. We know that you're a rock star. We know that what you do. We know we're already partners with you, right? All of these. Make sense? Scott.
I'm just gonna ask, a position that's through a headhunter, that's just basically another level of rejection.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. Look, honestly, let's say I'm not talking about bad or any of those things, right? Remember that those things scale, right? You want to hire, I don't know. You get. I was talking to a company the other day. They said we need to hire 400 engineers by the end of the year. It's like, what do you do with that, right? You got to throw money at it. You got to throw headhunters. You got to do it, right? So those things are valid, right? They scale. You need to hire 400 engineers. You only have 2 recruits. You hire 10 recruits, and you're gonna find those people, right? So yeah, that works.
You gotta convince them to leave where they are.
You have to convince them to leave where they are, exactly, right? To bring 400 engineers in a team, right? So, and so basically, I think those things work, right? But you're right, it's just one more level of rejection, right? You know, because of course, what the recruiter does, right? The recruiter, you know, if it is an external recruiter, right? He makes money out of the interviews that succeed, right? So they want to talk to lots of people to reject all the ones that they think is not going to succeed, for just the ones that they think is going to succeed, right? So, you know, so that's the process, right? So he's going to talk to you to all those, oh, those two guys here are the ones that have a chance to succeed there, right? Make sense?
It also seemed more like a filter
Yeah,
of where you're, well, but more something, how hard will the candidate play it to get that position?
oh, yeah, oh, look, yeah, so you see,
Put all the keywords on your resume.
well, no, it's not like this. The thing is this, if you are a company that everyone wants to work for you, right? And so there's lots and lots of people applying for you, right? Then you have the luxury to put any filter that you want, right? And you're right. You know, this friend of mine that I told you before, they called me Bruno, I'm not gonna do this, it doesn't make sense. You know, isn't this a clear filter that you're not interested in working for me? You know, if I send you an email, like a 6-page email, explain everything you're gonna do in the interview, and you say, I don't wanna work for you, that's a sign that if I hide you, you're not gonna work for me anyway, right? You know, so yeah, so I agree with you. It is a filter, right? It is a rejection process. The whole objective is filter. It's to reject you, right? And to see how,
But
in a way,
what I'm kind of saying is like, it also kind of plays into the candidate's negotiation.
right? Oh, yes, sure. Oh, you know, a lot of those companies, I'm not gonna say out, but a lot of those companies actually pay lower than the market. You know, if you're a little known company, right? That you have a very interesting project, but you don't have, you know, but you're not one of the big ones. What do? You pay more, right? You hire people. You know, there's a mentee of mine that, you know, he went to visit me the other day in my house, and he was talking about the salaries that his company is offering. Like, man, huge salaries, because it's a startup, they're trying to get amazing talents, right? So they're offering huge salaries. And so, why? Because companies that don't have the brand name, right? It's harder for them to hire. So sometimes they make better offers, right? But if you are, you know, if you're a company that lots of people want to work for you, right? You can totally just select the people that are like dying to work for you, right? Because you have the and look, it's all part of the game, guys. The more we understand that, the more, and you know, and if you want to play, you know, if you want to work for one of those companies, you can just, you know, maybe you need to play the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was kind of thinking, can someone upgrade themselves from that, you know, rejection path into?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The acceptance path, it's all on you, right? Because acceptance path reverse the process. The acceptance path is you made yourself available in the market. You create a name for yourself. So now I want to hire you. So you put that work, and now I want to hire you. And then you are filtering out, right? If I watch your talk and you're not talking, you know, let's say you're a specialist in microservices, right? So I go watch you, oh man, you know, what's your name? Jared. So I, you know, you're a specialist in microservice, Jared, and I come to your talk, so, oh, you know, Jared's going to talk about, I don't know. Oh, a friend of mine just submitted a talk about this stuff, so I'm going to say, you're going to use that. So I'm going to talk about transactions in microservices, right? So I say, oh, Jared's going to talk about transactions in microservices. That's the problem I have. So I come to your talk, and what you say is the opposite that I believe, right? So I don't invite you, right? I'm not going to hire you, right? Oh man, you know, I went to watch this Jared guy. He's stupid, right? He mentions all this kind of thing, right? He talked about microservices in a bad way, right? So I don't want him, right? So it's opposite future.
But who's right?
Hmm?
But who's right?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter who's right. Now, technology is like this, right? It doesn't matter. You have your opinion, I have mine, just, and maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, or vice versa. But the thing is, you are building a filter, right? If I disagree with you, I'm not gonna try to hire you. Why? Because I don't trust you. Right?
Yeah.
If I think what you're saying is wrong, I don't trust you. Right? It might be because I'm wrong, and that's good, because you don't want to work for me to begin with, right? Because you're thinking the other way around. Oh, this Bruno guy, he's implementing Microsoft in the most stupid way possible, right? And so I don't want to work for those guys because they're stupid, right? And they're closed-minded. They don't see the reality. So you see, so now that's what I'm saying. Companies build the future, but you can build your own future, right?
You're right, it works both ways.
Both works for
Yeah.
things, yes.
Yes, sir.
So I prefer, go ahead.
If I may ask, what are your thoughts about the senior developers moving into like consultancy or starting their own companies and being consultants around?
So look, as I said before, I do think that you being independent, it's awesome, right? Because you get to attract your own customers, you get to choose the project you're gonna work on, right? You can be very detailed, very specific, very deep on things, right? All those things are awesome, right? So I do think that, that's great. So I do think that's something you should do. Actually, let me just say one thing. We're getting late a little bit here, right?
Yeah, but
So let me, Scott, can you put a page there on the link there? So let me, can you hear?
You're gonna hang in the chat, drop in the chat, I'll pull it up.
No, can be here. So put it here on the screen. Can you put it on the screen?
Hold on.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a gift for all of you guys. Right? So, do it, jav.mn, yes, last year. Last year. So let me give you guys a gift. All right? So that's my book that I wrote to help you plan your career. Right? So it's not a technical book. It's a book that shows you how your brain works and how you can convince your brain to have an amazing career, right? So if you come to this page there, put your name and email, I'm gonna send the book for free for you, right? So just scroll, Scott, scroll all. Yeah, so it talks a little bit about there, scroll all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Yes, that's right there. Okay, so that's the URL. Yeah, just a little bit down, just so people see the name of the book. Yeah, right there. Okay, good. So that's the URL, the QR code, or you can get that. So just grab the book before you go, and then you can talk about it, right? Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. So when you get the book, no, we're not finishing it, right? We still got a question, but I just saw some people trying to leave. If you guys want to leave, that's okay. Are we gonna go all the way to what time is it?
It's 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's 8
I
o'clock.
thought, yeah.
Oh, right. We were supposed to finish at 8. Okay, good.
Yeah, 8:30, whenever however
So
long. you want.
did Ian ever show up?
Um,
Hey, Ian, are you there?
no.
Ian Chesler, did Ian ever show up? Because I was waiting for him, because he's gonna talk a little bit about his experience, but that's okay. So Scott, you want to quickly talk about mentoring, really quick? Yeah, just come here, what your experience with mentoring and how you liking it and everything. And, look, mentoring, we're not gonna go very deep on mentoring. But mentoring is something that it's one very, very important skill for those principal and for staff engineers, right? So Scott's been mentoring people. So, yeah. Got here.
Sorry,
Scott.
I gotta
Yes.
come over here.
Right.
All right, so,
Yeah, right, stay right here.
right here. So, yeah, well, I have a team of developers that I work with who are almost exclusively in India. And so I've got to find some way to communicate with them because our days overlap for our max. And so what I started doing is, to get them trained up, I would record myself and say, okay, you're assigned this particular issue to solve. And I recorded myself solving this issue. So here's where you would go and how you do it and that sort of thing. And it overcame a number of problems that we had. And it really helped the team to come together, understand the tool that we're supporting and start to make progress. So our team has really gelled because of it. So recently I started a program where once a week, one of us will do a little 15-minute presentation instead of our normal status meeting that we have, to help the team to grow. Because we want to, everybody knows something. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I know a bunch of stuff about these things that can help them program better. They know a bunch of things about other stuff that could help me be better. And so I don't want to presume that I'm the only one who knows it. And this has been helpful for everyone because a lot of guys are shy. Frankly, there's a cultural hesitancy for the guys in India to poke their heads up because there's a good chance if they're wrong, they will be ridiculed. It could be a career limit.
What will people think?
Yeah. And so they're very careful about it. But in our team, I've made sure to create a safe space where we can do that. I've also done a similar thing at my company where we have every couple of weeks we have a brown bag meeting where somebody on the team who knows a lot about some interesting topic will do a presentation, and when you can talk, and everybody learns, and everybody grows. And it's great. You do the same thing here to improve.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've started a program, I call it the Keep Calm and Refactor Project, where I help Java developers to basically learn how to become senior developers. So they're okay at what they do, but they don't know how to work their way up. And so I teach them basic leadership skills. I teach them basic techniques about what they need to know to really become that leader on their team, the de facto leader, if not the official team leader. And so it's incredibly rewarding to see people who were initially very mousy, they're afraid to speak up, and now they're calling me on the carpet for not stepping up. You let this thing slide. You shouldn't let these things slide in. Okay, yeah, you're right. I need to step up and call them out on whether trying to fudge something. We're telling a story and just kind of getting it done so we can move it on. No, he's mad because that's going to come back and bite us later. So anyhow, all that to say, I started doing this because this guy started mentoring me a couple of years ago, and he helped me to get out of my shell and start reaching out to people. And so through his influence and leadership, I've gone and started speaking here locally, and he even helped me to speak out at Oracle Code 1. So, which is now back to Java 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Java 1's coming
Was
back.
recently announced, Java 1's gonna come back, yes.
So I tell people I'm sort of like the aliens on Toy Story. We're eternally grateful. And I really appreciate what Bruno's doing for me. So thank you, Bruno.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important that those skills of mentoring and leadership, that's what's gonna take you past that level right there. Okay. So one last thing I want to say, Scott, can you just I just open another tab there. Can you just kind of switch?
Sorry?
I create another window there. Can you just switch to another window?
Okay.
So no, it's another window. I think I just opened another window. It's kind of off the tab there.
Oh, okay. This one. No, I don't have one.
It's there. Come on.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. Yeah.
Best here and there's best here.
No, there's not, this one here. The corner right there.
Next
Last one.
That one.
Yeah, no, you're.
No, that one. Just the one right here.
There you go.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
This one here.
Yes. No,
Now it's
You
gone.
just
now,
had.
the first one. The first one.
Who's on first? There you
Yes,
go. There you go.
right there. Okay, yes, right. So this is the arch code that I told you guys that I wrote, right? It's stop learning every new technology. Now you're putting your developer career at risk. So now that guy over there asking me my phone number, right? And so, when you download the book, you got an email from me with the book, right? So hopefully you already read it. Got there? So it should have arrived immediately. So you got an email from me with my email. So that's my personal email. You can just reply to me and we can have a conversation, right? So, probably tomorrow, I'm gonna send an email talking about this article here, right? And so if you guys wanna take a look, it's actually, I say it's an article, but it's actually a sales page, right? It talks about this program, the skill developer, the developer skill mastery system, right? But it's one thing that I've been doing for a few years to help people become, you know, even before those names existed, right? To become that person, right? So, you know, if you guys are interested, I try to make it, in a very low price that anyone can participate. And the cool thing is that once you join the Skill Master System, you get a conversation with me. We're gonna spend an hour together thinking about your career, the specific problem that you have, how to advance, right? So if you're interested in that, you know, you can just go there. I'll send you an email tomorrow with that link here. So if anyone's interested. And I'm here to go talk now. You got here later. So do you have any questions? Because I know I was gonna try to do like a quick recap here, but we had so many questions that it didn't work. So do you have any questions that I can answer to you?
I think I can go back and to the record.
Yeah, I'll post it on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not a senior developer, I'm just a junior developer.
That's good. Awesome.
Yes, and also I would have a question about that. Is there any way that we can write a good blog post from your like failures or rejections?
Yeah.
Just put it in a good way and positive.
Cool. Yes. Yes. Okay. So here's my last thing then. The trick to write things, cool things, right? Whatever it is, right? Remember I said here in the very beginning that no one cares about you, right? So I'm not going to even tell you this because you just arrived and like, what it's talking about. So people care about how you can help them achieve something, right?
Right.
So once you know what you're going to talk to people, right? So you want to help them achieve something, right? So now that your focus is going to help them achieve something or get something, you can talk about anything you want, right? Because you can talk about any topic, any subject, as long as helps people achieve what they want, right? So what you need to do is make that connection. You know, you have to make the connection to, okay, so this thing happened with me, right? And that's why you should do different so you can get what you want, right? As long as you make a connection that people are, to something that people care about, you can always, and I call this connect the dots, right? You know, because you have, let me do a little quick drawing here. You know, you have this thing here that everyone wants, right? And then you want to talk about this topic here, whatever it is. So all you need to do is connect the dots. How that thing you want to talk about is connected to that other thing here, right? Can I make you an exercise with you really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what is the thing that you know well?
JavaScript and React.
JavaScript and React.
Yeah.
Okay, so now can I call you to come here in front to everyone?
This side.
Can I do that?
Okay.
All right, so that's what happened when you got late. Right?
Okay.
Right, so that's, okay, so she is good in JavaScript and React, right? Here's the thing that she knows. All right, now,
It's an interview.
I want, no, not an interview. I want some guys, someone, tell me a movie or a book, like a fiction movie or book or anything that you guys.
E.T.
E.T.
Oh, that's good.
Have you watched E.T.?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you know what it's about, right? Doesn't matter, not in detail. So you know what it's about, right? You know the general.
Yes.
Okay, so here, so the audience, that's the audience here, right? So you're here on, this is a theater where we're gonna play E.T. on the screen.
Okay.
So everyone here came here to watch E.T. And so you will talk about JavaScript. So what you have to do, you have to talk about JavaScript to people that only want to hear about ET. So my suggestion is you start like this. Do you know ET?
Yes.
JavaScript is like ET.
Yeah.
Start with that and just go on. Present. You have, no, it doesn't need to be long, just.
Okay, so like JavaScript is kind of like a ET, and you already know ET. And I mean, like you don't know ET, you are here to watch this movie. But
No, they know
it's-
it, yeah. They know what it is, so don't worry.
Watch it
Okay.
again.
Yeah,
Okay,
they know what it
so
is, yeah.
maybe you're here to watch it again, but, so it's fun coding in JavaScript as you like having fun watching ET movie. What else I should say? It makes, wow, that's a really hard movie to explain in JavaScript. I would say
It won't make your life better.
It will make your life better, okay, good.
yes, it makes life easier for you because I don't know.
They both involve staring at a screen.
Maybe. I got it, and you just have to find a way.
No, continue, keep, I want a little bit more, right? You're doing good.
Does React
No.
phone home?
Now,
I can-
sorry?
Does React phone home?
Yes, React.
Oh,
React Native.
yes, great name. I would say.
Is learning it like being dropped on a strange planet?
That's a good one, yeah, I like that.
ET is magic, JavaScript magic.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so yes,
How does it
Any
make you
sufficiently
feel?
advanced technology.
How does it make you feel when the project's done? What is that feeling? Can you convey that using JavaScript?
Nice.
How does it make you feel?
Oh, when I'm finishing, anything,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's fantastic,
Why?
because I love coding in JavaScript.
Come on. Yeah.
Yes, and it is fun and it is fantastic in this way, so like JavaScript.
Okay, good.
You feel like you're riding your bicycle through the
All
sky.
Yeah, right. So, hand of applause for her, right? So, all right, so, guys, yeah, thank you very much. So here, you see, right? Now, why does this works?
Might as well.
What you just did here, right? So she talked about JavaScript for.
Interaction.
No, the interaction here, no, it's not the interaction, but why does this work? Why can she talk about ET related to JavaScript?
Because they want to hear from you, because, about ET,
Yeah.
and I want to
They are
talk about
support the
what's,
audience.
interesting for them.
Right, but this,
You know their interest.
you know their interests, yes,
Yeah.
so first, you know their interests. One, you know their interests, right?
Okay.
And the second thing, you know JavaScript.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, so their comparison that she made here were kind of silly, right? But it's all good, right? Because, so you can always make that. You know, if you want the other way around, right, to actually get you to talk about ET, you might not be so good because you don't know ET so much, right? But because you know JavaScript, because she knows JavaScript, right? Because you know your topic, you can always make a connection to whatever topic people are interested in. Now, we're using here the most silly example, right? Because who want to talk about ET when, so, but that's true for anything else. So for example, you got to give a talk about, let's say you're going to go to an event So for example, the guy said, the guy here was, had a Ruby Java user group, right? So you're a Java developer. You come to a Ruby user group. What do people want to hear about?
JRuby.
No. They don't want to hear about JRuby. What do you want to hear about? Ruby, right? They're your Ruby user group. They want to hear about Ruby. And so now it's your job to talk about Java to people that only want to hear about Ruby. So then you can talk about JRuby because you know JRuby. They don't, right? So basically what you do all the time is that you connect dots, right? You see what is that they were interested in. And then whatever you want to talk about, you connect with what they're interested in, right? And every time you do that, what happens? You help people move in the direction they want.
That's right.
You help people move to where they want to get. Because you're going to have insights. You're going to have ideas. You're going to have things that are going to help them move to where they want. And if they're going to move to where they want to hear from you. Make sense? That's the trick to create content. All right? And if you do that, right, then you're going to be sharing what you know. And the more you share what you know, and notice here, there's two things here. One, you are sharing what you know, because that's what you know, right? You're sharing what you know. And two, you're listening to them, right? Two of the basic skills for it to be a leader, right? A leader understands what people want, right? And share what they know to communicate well. Make sense? All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. For everyone online, thanks a lot. It was great to be here with you. Sorry that I didn't get, if you register here and ask questions, we end up just getting questions from you now. We didn't get questions from the written ones, but I'm going to start answering those questions on my emails. So, you guys are going to receive that. So I'm going to start answering those questions so you have more content coming on in the next few days. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you very much, Bruno.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
very much. Thank you, everybody.
Did you put the link to the book for everyone online?
I can, yeah.
Or do you see the screen for Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, they work. Okay, so you guys saw it. Okay.
All right,
Thanks,
cool.
everyone, guys.
Thanks.
Have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.